Hello and welcome to Verbaling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and sorry for being late. I'm having some technical problems today. I'm fighting to get the classes open. So anyway, in this class here on Verbaling, we're going to conclude our little mini series we've been doing this week, talking about education and learning. And today we're going to be learning vocabulary specifically to discuss language learning. Appropriate. Not only will we be learning actual individual concrete vocabulary words, but we'll be looking at collocations and how the words are normally used in conversation or in classroom conversation, for that matter. Okay. I'm not sure if these technical problems are actually my technical problems or what. It would appear, Naibe, if you're out there anywhere, I'm not sure if others can see the join button. Naibe, I seem to have a student having difficulty entering the class. I'm not sure. I was having problems earlier myself, so I don't know. Anyway. Am I actually live on Verbaling, or is it all a hallucination? I'm not sure. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. In any case, we're going to be learning this vocabulary to use when discussing language learning by doing a series of exercises. I will also be conversing with you and discussing some of these words or some of the ideas with you as we go along. So there'll be a mix of all students will have an opportunity to try some exercises and talk to me a little bit about language learning. Am I actually... I seem to be actually in Verbaling. Am I actually broadcasting? Okay. That may have been a mistake. Alrighty. Okay. Seems to be correct. Okay, it looks like I'm really here. So I don't know where all the students are, but okay. All right, I guess I'll just teach the class to myself. Although I have to tell you, I know all the answers. All right. Okay. First of all, for example, we're going to complete the dialogues with these words and expressions as they would come up in a natural dialogue or natural conversation. Words like second language, bilingual, native speaker. All right. So for example, as an example, so Sandy, what language do you speak in Hong Kong? A person might answer, well, of course, Chinese is my mother tongue. Okay, your mother tongue or your first language. But for almost everyone, English is spoken as a second language in Hong Kong. Okay, so the language you learn as a child, of course, is your mother tongue, and then the language you learn later, probably in school, most likely, is your second language. Okay, thank goodness. Hello, Hussein.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I was very confused if there's been a little technological, I don't know what, going on, and I had no idea if I was actually even in verbaling. Everything appears to be okay. Did you join the class from verbaling, Hussein?
Yes, thank you. I have already a technical problem with my computer.
Well, I don't know if it's your computer because frankly I've been having problems all day and there's other students telling me they have problems. So I'm not sure if it's our computers, Hussein, or if there's something going on with the server or the website. I don't know. I'm quite confused myself. Okay. In any case, here we are. So, wow, great. Let's do this. All right. We're looking at vocabulary that we use when we're talking about learning languages. All right. So I gave the first example already. So Sandy, what language do you speak in Hong Kong? Of course, Chinese is my mother tongue, but for almost everyone, English is spoken as a second language. Very true in Hong Kong. Okay, so Hussein, what is your mother tongue?
My mother tongue is Azerbaijani, like Turkish language.
Okay,
Very
Azerbaijani.
similar. Yes,
Okay.
very similar. Very similar. But our second language was until Russian.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
nowadays, I must learn English. I,
All
I
right.
I need in English.
Okay. I need English,
I
or I
need
need
English.
to learn English. Okay.
To,
So actually, Hussein, you are multilingual. You have
very,
many languages, more than two languages that you know, at least enough to communicate. You're multilingual. All right.
okay.
Okay. Speaking of multilingual students, hello, Heidi.
Hello.
Hello. Heidi, I happen to know, is also multilingual. Okay. Heidi, we're doing an exercise. We're going to just do a simple fill in the blank exercise here. This is in the form of a conversation. So, in other words, if I say, so, Heidi, you've been learning English for 10 years. That's a long time.
I suppose it is, but I want to keep learning until I can hold a conversation like a native.
Yeah, like a native.
Oh, hit.
Same thing. Same thing. Like a native, that's fine, or like a native speaker. Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay, excellent. All right, that's it. Very good. A native speaker is someone who has first language. That is their first language. Okay, Hussein, number 3. Where did you learn to speak such good Spanish, Hussein?
Where did you where did you learn to speak such good Spanish, Mary? Well, my dad is Spanish and I went to school in Madrid until I was 9, so I am basically, basically bilingual.
Okay, bilingual. Right, very good. Two languages.
Well,
And again, as you guys do, you guys speak more than two languages. You're multilingual. We don't say like trilingual, three languages, quadrilingual, four languages, pentalingual. We don't do that. We simply say multilingual. Okay. Heidi, I find it very difficult to understand Maggie when she speaks quickly.
Well, she comes from Liverpool and she got quite tall. I'm sure you get used to
All right, she's got quite a
strong accent.
yeah. People from Liverpool are notoriously have a strong accent, strong British, very strong Cockney accent, I think they call it. Right. Okay. Moving on. Okay, typical words we use to talk about learning a language. Okay. Okay, these would be typical questions that you, the students, might ask. For example, Hussein, number one, using the words to fill in the blanks up above here. Number one, please.
how do you spell coach in English?
Probably not. This is not an English word.
Coach. How do you mean say coach in English?
That's it. How do you say coach in English? Very good. And do you know what language this is, Hussein? Coach?
No, I don't know this word.
I don't either. I don't either. Okay. Heidi. Heidi, do you know what this word, what language this word is? Coach? Is it Spanish?
Car.
And it's actually, the answer is car. Okay. All right, thanks. Okay, Heidi, number two.
What does rush mean?
Very good. You want the definition. What does something mean? Okay. Hussein. Number three.
What's the difference between for and since?
Exactly. Okay, very common question when learning a language. You want to understand how you use the two different words, for example. You would say, what's the difference? Or you might say, how do we use for and since? Alternative. Heidi, number four.
How do you pronounce this word?
Most likely. Very good. Okay. Excellent. Hussein, back to you.
How do you maybe pronounce this word?
It could be. I mean, that's a lot. That's
Mean,
logical.
maybe how do you mean this word?
Well, okay. How do you pronounce a certain word would be common, right? I think the answer they're looking for, we already used pronounce. Yes, spell. How do you pronounce this word, or how do you pronounce a specific word? How do you spell? And then you know the word. Okay, how do you spell headache? Now, okay, what does rush mean? Okay, fine. When we want to know the definition for something, sometimes we say the word, what does this word mean? Sometimes we say, what do you call it when you go, what's another word for quickly or quick? Or what do you call it when, or what do you call the thing, or what do you call the place, what do you call the person who does something? That's a a common way to ask for the word which you know the definition. In other words, asking a little backwards. We normally say, what do you call it? I very commonly hear students say, what do you name it? But we never say that in English. We never say, what do you name the machine that you sit in and drive around, and it has 4 tires and it has a motor. We don't say, what do you name it? We say, what do you call that thing that you sit in and drive around? Oh, that's a car. Like that. Okay. Last one here, Heidi.
What the plural of calf?
Sure. Do you know the answer?
Calves.
Very good. Okay. Calves. All right. Basically, we've already answered all these questions here, so let's skip that part. Okay. Now, let's talk grammar words. All right. The words in English that we use for various grammar aspects. Okay. Now, we've got a little reading here. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and read this, shall we? Hussein, go ahead.
A commuter was extremely annoyed because his morning train was late again. So he decided to go and complain to the station manager. I pay a lot of money for my ticket, and this is the 3rd time this week that my train has been late.
Okay.
What's
Hang on. I'll have Heidi finish it up. Heidi, go ahead.
What's the point of having a timetable if the trains are never on time? He asked. The manager thought for a moment, then said, well, how would you know that the trains were late if there wasn't timetable?
Ha! Okay. I guess it's a joke. All right, fine. Now we're going to locate different types of grammatical words. So this will be a fun little challenge. Hussein, find me a main verb. I don't care which one. I'm sure there's many. Where is a main verb here?
main word?
Yeah, anywhere.
Late.
No. A verb is an action word.
It decided shows. He decided.
Yes, it is. Very good. Okay, that's right.
And complain.
Yes, that's another main verb. You're absolutely correct.
Pay.
There's going to be I pay. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, there's a lot. Because, of course, in English, you can't have a sentence without a subject noun and a main verb. It's impossible. So every single sentence must have a subject noun and a main verb. So, yeah, you're picking them out. Right. Sometimes there are more. For example, I mean, there's more to it, like was annoyed. Oh, no, annoyed here is an adjective. Sorry. Was, okay, the verb to be. Another clause, was, right? You got it, decided, pay. Yeah, there's a lot. Asked. Okay. Heidi, where's an example of an adverb?
Adverb, extremely.
Yes, extremely is definitely an adverb. Adverbs, of course. Here we have an adverb in front of an adjective. Yeah. So adverbs can be used to modify adjectives, as in this case. They can be
Never.
used to.
Never.
Where is it? You're right, but I can't place it. Where is it? Never.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sometimes they are used to discuss time. Okay. In this case, it's when we're using it to discuss time, we're actually still discussing the verb. When does it happen? Never. They are the verb to be. Okay. Very good. I don't know. I don't see any other ones off the top of my head, but okay. Adverbs can be used to modify verbs or adjectives or
Yes.
occasionally other adverbs.
How about late?
Where is it?
If the train were late.
Late. Okay. Well, that's an adjective here, I think. Of course, lately. Lately, with the ly, it would be an adverb. All right. Well, there's going to be some challenging stuff here. Hussein, where's a modal verb here? I don't know the answer yet. I have to search for it. Where is the modal verb? Ah, I found it.
No.
Where? What? Sorry?
I said my, not modal verb. Like,
Can you find it? Okay, here's a clue. Modal verbs are used for various purposes, actually. We use them when we ask permission. We use them to, the main reason we use them is to show probability. What is the likelihood something would happen? But we also use them to ask for permission, to show degree of obligation, how much you should or ought to do something, or need to, or have to. They're used to show probability. It might happen, it may happen, it could happen, it will happen, it won't happen, negative. They're used to ask for permission. May I have a cookie? Or to ask, or to offer. Would you like a cookie? Shall I get you a cookie? Words like that, those are modals. Okay, Hussein?
I don't see would.
Would.
Well,
There it is.
Would
There
you
it
know
is.
would?
There it is. That's it. Would. Okay, so those would, could, should, might, may, those are modals. Sometimes we have phrasal modals like need to and have to, obviously, that show very strong obligation. I need to do my homework. Okay, but those things are modals or modal verbs. Heidi, there's an auxiliary verb.
Have
Where is it?
has been late.
Yes, that sounds right, although I can't find it. Has been late. Okay.
Late.
All right. Has. All right. So when we have modals, I'm sorry, not modals, auxiliaries. Auxiliaries are considered as part of the verb. Auxiliary actually has another meaning in English. It means helper or helpful, helping. So auxiliary verbs are helper verbs when we use them with a main verb.
How about would? Even would is auxiliary, no?
Well, it certainly functions as an auxiliary verb. That is correct. It's kind of a form of an auxiliary verb. Yeah, very true. It helps the main verb. how would you know? So the main verb is know. Would is a modal verb, but it functions as an auxiliary. That's very, very correct. And we're used in a question here. You have the question word, then the auxiliary, first auxiliary, then the subject noun. So, for example, this is a perfect example how in a question we use the grammatical structure, we use a modal exactly as we use an auxiliary verb. So, yep, it functions the same way in sentence structure. That is a good point. Okay, so auxiliary verbs are the verbs that we use in conjunction with the main verb to make a verb tense. Have or has with the present perfect, had, past perfect. Of course, we use the verb to be with continuous, is running, or past was running, or future will be running. Will with future tenses. These are auxiliaries. Ooh, okay. Hussein, it is now your task to find a countable noun. There's a lot. Pick one, anyone.
Money, a lot of money. Money.
We picked about the only one that's not countable. Money is uncountable. We're looking for countable nouns. You found the pretty much, I think, the only uncountable noun in the whole piece, which is money. You can't say 3 monies. I have 3 monies. All right, but there's a whole lot of countable nouns here. 3 commuters, 3 trains, 3 stations, 3 that's it. 3 managers, 3 tickets, 3 weeks. A lot to count. 3 timetables. Yeah, okay. So there's lots of countable nouns here, but I think as far as I could tell, you've picked the time. There's another uncountable noun. Uncountable. Now time, okay, money is never countable. However, time, tricky because I can say, Hussein, I've told you 3 times what an uncountable noun is. Okay, well that's, I can count it if I'm talking about 3 individual actual events or times. We've all heard that expression. I've told you 1,000,000 times. All right, it's countable in those cases, but when we talk about time in a general sense, it's uncountable. I don't have much time, generally speaking. I can't say I only have 3 times to finish this paper. That doesn't make any sense. I only have 3 minutes. I only have 3 hours. Fine, those are all countable. But so time's a tricky one. It can be countable or uncountable. All right, so you knocked off both of those. Heidi, a definite article
Is the.
is the. So that's got to be in there
The train.
somewhere. The point, the train,
Manager.
the station manager. All right. The point, the manager. Okay, the. There's only one definite article. Okay, it's called a definite article because you should definitely know which exact one of those things, nouns, that you're talking about, as opposed to the indefinite article. Well, Heidi, no reason not to discuss both at once. What's the yeah? A lot of money. Okay, a lot of money. A lot. Okay, that's indefinite. We don't. How much is a lot of money, Heidi? Okay. Timetable. One timetable out of many possible timetables on the planet Earth. Okay. What's the point of having a timetable? Okay, in general. All right. Okay, so indefinite, we don't know exactly which one, or it doesn't matter exactly which one. When he asks what's the point of having a timetable, he just means any timetable. So you can consider that it could be any of an example of that noun, and it wouldn't make any difference. Then you use the indefinite article. All right, Hussein, back to you. Adjective. Find me an adjective. Hussein now.
I read, a- annoyed,
Very good.
annoyed.
Yes. Annoyed. Exactly. Okay. Now, sometimes we're going to see, especially after the verb to be, but after some other dative verbs, linking verbs. We will see they're called linking verbs because they link. We can actually use them with an adjective. He seemed annoyed. I felt annoyed. I was annoyed. Of course, the verb to be is the most common one. Other verbs that has
Lead,
uh,
was late.
yeah, okay. So we may see it after a linking verb, or of course, adjectives are used to just describe a commuter was annoyed. Actually, we're talking about with a linking verb, the adjectives modifying the subject noun. But we often also any noun can be modified with an adjective. For example, down here, the third time. Third is also an adjective. It modifies the noun time. Sometimes the adjective can be another noun. His morning train, for example. Train is, of course, the main noun, but morning here is not really a noun. It's an adjective. But morning can also be a noun. So, all right.
How about this or my trend or this week?
This
Demonstrative, but
demonstrative,
adjective,
exactly.
adjective because it modifies the noun.
Yeah, okay. Well, we kind of separate them. Yes, they act as an adjective, demonstratives, all right? Act the same way an adjective acts. That's absolutely true. Demonstratives are like a subcategory of adjectives. That's true. Demonstratives include this, that, these, those, as well as possessive nouns, my, her, his, as well as articles, actually, are another kind of demonstrative. So if we're using other adjectives, an important point is the demonstrative always goes first in sentence structure. The big black hairy dog. This stupid man. My shiny pen. Okay, always the demonstrative has to go first. That's the main thing. But you are right. Demonstratives are basically a subcategory of adjectives. We use them to modify nouns. Right. Okie doke. Heidi, how about a preposition?
Preposition on time
Sure,
for
on.
my ticket.
I don't see it, but for, yeah, for my ticket, for a moment, for,
Decided to go
to, wherever it is, to the station, yeah. Okay, right. Prepositions are used to add information. And when they're used in prepositional phrases, you need to have a noun. Or, of course, they're also used with infinitive verbs. But they're not really considered prepositions at that point. Prepositions are tricky because they're used to add information like when and where, often or sometimes purpose. With a noun, what's called a prepositional phrase, but we also use prepositions to form the infinitive, to go. That's actually not really considered a preposition. It's actually part of the verb. And also, it's a verb, what's called an, it's also used like eat out. I'm going to eat out tonight, eat out. Definitely not a preposition. There's no, I'm going to eat out. I don't need anything. I don't need a noun. It's actually part of a phrasal verb. So prepositions can be prepositions, but the same words can be what are called particles or adverbial particles because they modify a verb like an adverb. So adverbial particles. So for example, in the phrasal verb to eat out, out is no longer truly, it's not a preposition, looks the same, pronounced the same, spelled the same, but in fact it's fulfilling a completely different purpose, so we look at it as a modifier or part of the verb. So prepositions are a little bit tricky. They're tricky because you've got to determine what function they're fulfilling if you're trying to analyze a sentence, or they're definitely tricky. Hussein, how about a pronoun? Find me a pronoun, if you would be so kind.
Maybe un.
What?
Un or never on time. On time.
No, on is a preposition. Prepositions include to, for, in, on, up, down, all those place and time, by, in, on, for, up, down. That show lots that show place and time, but no, a pronoun is a word we use in place of another noun, a substitute for another noun, basically. Okay, we use them to make it so we don't have to keep repeating the noun over and over and over again, and it helps with the fluency as well. Any idea? There's a couple here. No, you need a little help? Heidi, can you pick out a pronoun for us?
He.
Sure. He. So, okay. There you go, Hussein. He. Further down the piece, you. Okay. We have different kinds of pronouns. We have subject pronouns. He, she, it, I, we, they. We have object pronouns like him. What? What else? It again.
Mine is a pronoun.
You.
Pronoun possessive.
And then we have possessive pronouns. So we have subject pronouns, object pronouns, and then possessive pronouns. My, her, his. Those are possessives. They show possession of the following noun. So yeah, a lot of different kinds of pronouns. We also have relative pronouns. There are other words that can substitute for other nouns.
Okay, so lots of different kinds of pronouns. This is another little bit confusing because there's a lot of variations there. And last one, Heidi, Hussein, you
Sorry,
have a question?
I heard that before learning English, any language, not important learning grammar, but okay, will be good or better learning grammar, but not important uh, because of
Pronouns?
no grammar at all.
Grammar at all?
No. Maybe
Um,
for linguistic, I don't know. I must learn a grammar.
well, well, that's an argument we could have for hours and hours and hours. The importance of grammar, frankly, as an English speaker who I grew up in the United States, I never had a grammar class. Not in elementary school, not in high school, not in university. Never. However, I was expected to write with perfect grammar, and everything I wrote from elementary school to high school to university, the teacher or professor would correct my grammar, and I would lose points on my grades because of grammar. And to be perfectly honest, I lost a lot of points. Took me a long time to figure out all the aspects of grammar. It's basic communication.
We have grammar lesson
You do?
from elementary school. Yeah, Japanese grammar. It's very difficult. Student.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it is. I don't know the first thing about Japanese grammar. I mean, I don't know even one tiny molecule of knowledge. Nothing. But anyway, as to the importance, well, if your sentence structure is all messed up, of course, people are not going to understand you. So you've got to have the basics of grammar to be able to even communicate at all. I tend to agree, Hussein, that many second language, many educational systems all around the world overemphasize grammar and underemphasize speaking and speaking practice. I would agree with you totally on that point. So,
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
you know, if learning may be more, I don't know, not boring, learning
Morning.
grammar and will be difficult because of don't love language.
Hmm.
I think okay will be good without grammar learning, but I must
Well,
won't
just
not want.
just simply my opinion. It's my opinion, and there's a wide variety of opinions on this subject. My opinion is that I need to teach grammar, but I try to mix it in with a lot of other material. I think it's extremely boring to just do a grammar drill, 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 drill. I try to mix it up with other elements, discussion, and so forth. Because you're right, it can be a very dry and boring subject. Absolutely, no question. Uh, okay, last one here to look for. Heidi, find me a conjunction.
No, not that. So he
So,
decided.
yeah, there are basic connectives for uh, connecting compound, making a compound. Then, if it's there somewhere, yes, then can be a conjunction because, of course, up here. Yeah, sure. And.
And actually, I like grammar. I don't like learning foreign languages, but I like grammar because it's like mathematics.
Kind of. Yeah. kind of. The pain in the neck with English is that with the grammar, there's always these weird exceptions, which is very annoying both for the teacher and the student. I hate explaining the crazy English exceptions to the rules. In English, you can't even call them grammar rules. They're more like grammar suggestions. So, yeah. You would never say math suggestions. We suggest that when you add 3 and 4, you might want to end up with 7. Not quite so solid as in mathematics. Unfortunately, it's a pain in my neck, to tell you the truth. All right, let's look at some other phrases, language terms, which I tell you I use every day, a lot of every day. Okay. All right. I don't know if you can tell what the
Sorry,
yes.
and you said in other classes for written English and spoken English, conjunction more important for written English. And if you don't speak in English, don't a lot use conjunction.
Oh no.
That so, okay.
If I said that, I was wrong. No, we definitely use conjunctions in spoken English. Absolutely. Words, of course we do. Words like and so, but, yet, of course we use a ton, a lot. Simple connectives. We tend to use more subordinators and more conjunctions in written language. That's true. But if I led you to believe they're not important for speaking, then I misled you completely, because we absolutely 100% have to use them.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, let's look at some language terminologies now. Okay, match the language terms here with the highlighted words and phrases in the sentences. Uh-oh. I can't tell what's highlighted here. Okay, so I don't know if you can. Let's see. Let's see if you can figure this out. Okay, Hussein, actually, what shows up here? What have we got here? I decided to do a Okay, go ahead and read it, first of all, and then we'll see if we can find what we're looking for.
I decided to go a conversation.
I think we're talking about... Okay, what aspect, what language term shows up in this sentence? Is there a proverb? No.
Forward.
Phrasal verb? No. Collocation? Maybe.
Idiom, no.
Idiom? No, definitely not. A gerund is an ing verb with ing ending used as a noun, so no.
No, and only to infinitive.
Yes, to do.
To do.
Yeah, great.
To do. Decided.
Although I have to tell you, conversation class is a bit of a collocation, quite honestly. Not a really strong collocation. It's a weak collocation, but okay. Heidi, what about number 2?
Let me look it up in my dictionary. Phrasal.
Definitely. Look up. Which, of course, means to, Heidi?
Mm-hmm.
If you look
Check.
something up. Yeah. Check or research. Sure. Okay. Wonderful phrasal verbs. This is a separable phrasal verb. We can separate the verb, and again, no longer a preposition but a particle. Our object noun is in between. Look it up. Or you can look something up. Yeah, okay. Well, right. That is a phrasal verb. Okay, number 3. Hussein?
I really enjoy training to speak English. yeah, enjoy. I mean, enjoy trying to speak English. Try to trying to a gerund.
Excellent. Very good. You've got a gerund in there after the following the main verb is which is enjoy. We've got a gerund. Okay. Excellent. Again, a verb with ing which acts as a noun. Okay. Terrific. Heidi?
Too many cooks spoil the broth.
Mhm.
Proverb.
That is the proverb. Yeah, the quotation marks kind of give that one away. Proverb is more or less kind of a quote. Sure. It's very similar to an idiom. In fact, I could describe the proverb as being idiomatic, for sure. What does that mean? Too many cooks spoil the broth.
Mm, um, how can I say? Many people are ordering something to make very strange things.
Very strange thing. Yeah. Okay. Too many people working on one thing. For example, if you have broth is like a word for soup. If you have 10 cooks making one soup, it's not going to turn out very well
In
because
Japan, we say too many operators lead the ship to the mountain.
what? Wow. Okay. Too many operators. Operators?
Operators or boatman.
Okay. Okay.
The same meaning.
All right.
In our language, a good proverb about that, but I cannot translate the
Oh,
English.
come on.
Very good. I'll try to. Maybe in Russian also, they say, if a lot of which nurses help for what for in woman which in pregnancy and what may I don't know and for we come baby what name it if woman is in pregnancy and will what say if baby coming what name this word
They're giving birth, I guess.
giving birth no not giving birth all already if come
Okay. Bear a child. Yeah.
child okay
Okay. All
no,
right.
no. If a lot of nurses about women which come child, they spoil all the time the process. I don't know.
Uh, okay. All right. Too many too many midwives.
Okay,
Maybe.
midwives.
All right. All right. Maybe too many midwives spoil the birth.
Okay, yes, yes, exactly.
Okay. Funny. Okay. Looking at the next one. Hussein, number 5.
I'm a bit out of my depth in the advanced class. Bit out
Okay.
phrasal verb. No,
No, we already had the phrasal verb. Look it up. No,
okay.
either
I'm
an
a bit out.
idiom or a collocation.
Collocation is a bit out of my depth in the advanced class. Collocation,
Uh, no, we've got an idiom here. This idiom is out of my depth. Doesn't
for
mean
me,
it doesn't mean exactly what the dictionary definition is. If you're out of your depth, you don't have the skills or knowledge or experience to deal with something. So if you're out
with
of
me, exactly.
a bit out of your depth, are you, Hussein? Okay,
Oh, exactly, but I must do it.
okay.
No.
All right. There's an idiom you may want to memorize. Okay. All right. And the last one, Heidi, of course.
Please correct me if I make a mistake. Collocation.
Make a mistake. Very good. You got it. All right. Great. We always use the verb make with the noun mistake. You make a mistake. You can't take a mistake or do a mistake or give a mistake. We always co-locate those words together. So that's locate them together. Co means together. Locate means position or place. They're always together. Okay. Good job, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I was getting a little worried. Didn't know what was going on with the verbal class, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See you again next time. Bye-bye.